A small disclaimer. Today's topic is API, and this video is specially made for founders who are planning to build their own app but are not from a technical background. You don't need to become a developer, but if you are investing money into an app, you should at least have a basic idea about APIs. Because later on, APIs can affect your app cost, monthly expenses, scaling, and a lot of business decisions as well. Interestingly, during discussions with my clients, I frequently hear questions like, what exactly is an API? Why do we need this? Why do I have to pay for it every month? If I am already paying developers, then why am I paying another company again? And in this video, I will answer all of these questions in the simplest possible way, not like a coding tutorial, but from a business owner's perspective. Hey, I am Ananya Banerjee, co-founder of Sunyam Software. We work with founders to turn ideas into real apps. Let's start with the first question. What exactly is an API? API is basically the way different parts of a software communicate with each other. Now, every modern app usually has two sides. One is the front end, the part your users can actually see and touch, buttons, screens, dashboard, app UI, all these things. And then there's the back end. This is the actual brain of the system. Your business logic, database, authentication, calculations, everything happens there. Now your front end and back end cannot magically talk to each other. They need a communication system in between, and that communication system is API or Application Programming Interface. Now if you go deeper technically, APIs have many categories, but as a founder, you mainly need to understand two types. The first one is private or internal APIs. This is basically your own backend system. Your development team creates these APIs so your own app can communicate with your backend and database. And why is it called private? Because only your own system can use it. No outside company has access to those APIs. Now the second one is something you probably hear a lot during app development discussions. Third-party APIs. These are APIs provided by other companies, and practically this is the area where most discussions, confusion and recurring costs usually come in. We will discuss that more in the next part. Now naturally the next question becomes, why do we even need APIs? Because building everything from scratch is just not realistic anymore. Let's say tomorrow you want to build a food delivery app. Now inside that app you may need online payment, OTP login, live location tracking, notifications, emails, AI features for recommendation and so on. Now if your development team starts building everything from scratch, that would become almost impossible for all startups. It would take enormous time, huge budgets, bigger teams and long-term maintenance. And many times it simply becomes an unrealistic approach. Startups need speed. You want to launch first, you want to test your idea first, you want real users as early as possible. And this is exactly how APIs help businesses. For example, Google already spent years and billions of dollars building map technology. So as a startup founder, does it really make sense to spend years creating another map system from scratch? Probably not. Same with payment systems. Payment companies already build secure banking infrastructure and transaction systems. Instead of rebuilding all these things again, your app can simply use those services through APIs. So APIs help businesses by saving time, development effort, infrastructure cost and maintenance work. So APIs help your team focus more on your actual business idea, customer experience and growth instead of rebuilding technologies that already exist. Now comes the question that almost every founder asks at some point. Okay, I understood what APIs are, but why do I have to pay for them every month? This is one of the most important things founders should understand before starting their app development. Actually, most third-party APIs are not just simple pieces of code. Behind those APIs, companies are running massive infrastructures. For example, servers, databases, security systems, cloud infrastructure, AI models, banking systems, map systems, SMS networks, and huge engineering teams. And every time your app uses those services, their infrastructure is actually working behind the scenes to make that action happen. That's why many APIs charge based on usage. Sometimes they give you a free limit first. For example, maybe 10,000 map requests are free every month. After that, charges start applying. Now in the beginning, most founders don't really notice these costs because during MVP stage, traffic is usually low. But once the app starts getting a good number of users, suddenly these API bills become visible. That's actually a good sign because it means your app is growing. More users generally means more requests, more activity, more API usage. The important point is founders should know about these costs from the beginning, not after getting surprised by a bill later. That's why during project planning, good technical teams usually discuss things like which APIs are really necessary, which ones may become expensive later, and how those recurring costs may increase when your app scales. Because these decisions can directly affect your business in the long run. And if you need any guidance regarding APIs while planning your app or even after launch, you can reach out to me on the numbers below. Now, this is probably the most common founder question. If I'm already paying developers to build the app, then why am I paying another company again? See, your developers are building your applications, your business logic, your overall platform, and your used APIs provide large-scale services that are already built and maintained by specialized companies. Your developers integrate these services into your app, but the actual infrastructure is maintained by those parent companies. So basically, you are paying developers to build your product and you are paying API companies for the specialized services your product is using. Now it's your turn. If you have a burning idea and you want to bring it to life, reach out to me. We guide founders every step of the way from idea to launch. And if this video helped you, hit subscribe. I share practical tips to help founders build smarter, faster and better apps. See you in the next video. Bye.